Hello and welcome to another Snyk Live. Did I startle you there? Were you kind of lulled into a trance with that calming music? I hope I didn't startle you too much. Welcome in. Happy to have you here. I'm your host, Brian Clark, joining you from Snyk, and excited about today's stream to learn more about untangling the secrets of our JavaScript dependencies. I didn't realize there were so many secrets about them. I mean, it was kind of a black box to me, but I'd love to dive deeper into that and find out more. And so I'm really excited for today's session because we're going to be able to figure that out. And we're going to have a friend, not some friends, but a friend join us to learn more about that. Without further ado, though, let's bring on our special guest that's going to help us learn more about today's topic, and that is Thomas from Node Secure. Hello,
Hi,
Thomas.
Brian. Cool to be here.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm super excited with the stream tonight. I think tonight for me, but I guess it's going to be cool. And yeah, pretty excited to show you everything around Node Secures. So yeah, let's
Excellent.
go.
I know you said you guess it's going to be pretty cool. I know it's going to be pretty cool, having gotten a little taste of it, but we intentionally made sure that you didn't show me too much so that I can come at it with a beginner experience and come with those questions fresh for you.
Exactly.
So don't downplay it, Thomas. Don't downplay it at all. You got some fun in store for us, I'm sure. But before we get into that, let's get to know you a little bit more, right? Like, let folks maybe aren't familiar with the work that you do and your background and stuff like that. So where are you based out of, if you don't mind sharing?
Yeah, I'm on the countryside of France, and I'm not far from Paris. I'm a French engineer, and I work with Node for something like 8 years now.
Nice.
From the beginning, I fall in love with Node. I really wanted from the beginning to become an expert, and I get to learn a bit about security, because I guess you cannot become an expert if you don't start to look at security stuff and things. It's one of the most important things today. Yeah, I think today what describe me the best, because I really love this, is to contribute on open source project, or create. I create a lot of open source project, especially tools that bring value to developers. I really like building tools, maybe a bit like Liran. I know Liran build a lot of tools. It's a bit the same for me. I really love this. Not only on security. Security is one of the stuff I really like to work on, because I think there is a lot of things to do and a lot of opportunities, but I'm also working on other tools, not only maybe to improve quality or help open source maintainers and things like this. I really like, and I think it's kind of contribute to security also. Yeah, on the side, professionally, I work for a French company named Microsoft, where we are building accounting software. I lead a team of 10 engineers. It's kind of a pretty cool project.
All right, let's get into the technical aspects of what we're going to be discussing today. We want to, the title is, we're going to untangle these secrets of our JavaScript dependencies. What exactly does that mean? How can we do that? Let's jump into, and I'm assuming you want me to start sharing your screen yet? Are you ready for that?
Yeah. I'm ready for this. What I will show you today is how main tool. This is the first tool I built that evolved over the time. So this is what we call the main tool today. We still call it Node Secure time to time, because I don't know how to say this in English, but we say it for myself. I say it in 4 years, so sometimes I just call it Node Secure. And this is a command line interface tool, so you have to install it globally with npm. Yeah, and when you install it, you will have nsecure like this, executable in your terminal available. And for example, when you want to analyze a dependency, like for example, you want to install Fastify, and you want to learn more about Fastify and see maybe discover how is built Fastify and things like this, we can just run nsecure auto Fastify. Everything of what I type is explained in the documentation here. So you have
Yeah,
all
look,
the steps.
really quick, Thomas. Let's take a step back. Honestly, I was
Yeah.
trying to get the link out in the chat too. So the
Okay. Okay.
install, what's the install like? Is it just npm install? Yeah, like
Yeah.
globally the CLI. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. This is just an npm install. You also, so if you want to link it locally also, but yeah. So you just install it and you just ask to analyze and open one packages of your choice in the npm registry. In this example, this is Express, but I prefer Fastify, so I will go with with Fastify. And you just run it like this. So it will take, depending on the size of the package, it will take maybe a few seconds. If you have a lot of dependencies, it will take a bit more time.
Oh wow.
And yeah, it will open Fastify in a tree like this. So that's one of the main features of the tool, visualization. Like I said 10 minutes ago, that's one of the first reason I have built this tool is to visualize dependencies. Most of the time, we don't realize how much dependency it represents. Like when we say, for example, 300, we do not see, when we see it visually, it's insane. We say, oh, that's so much dependencies. And this is also the link between each of them, because we can see each link and each things. And yeah, so when you have a lot of dependency, you can see every links and everything. So it's really cool. And you can do it also, we'll see it, but you can do it locally on a local project, which it's cool, because I guess most online tool today, they just allow you to analyze a remote package, one remote package at a time. So you can dig into any of your project in few seconds. So it's really cool.
When you mention there being a lot of dependencies, right? So in obviously in JavaScript and Node, the kind of culture and like approach to things is to make things are very modular. There isn't exactly like a full, I mean, there is standard API in Node, but there isn't like a standard library that fulfills. I mean, the purpose of these packages, right, that are out there are to help fill these gaps of needs that we have in software. So when you say there's a lot of dependencies at like 300 plus, like to somebody that maybe is new to this space, let's say, they might hear that and think that's maybe a bad thing. But in your opinion, do you think that's bad or not bad, or what's your kind of response to somebody that brings that up?
I don't think I kind of have a gray opinion, because some people love to get like white or dark opinion, like they don't like at all dependencies or they really like them. I'm not faking this, because when I built this tool, my idea was, maybe we use sometimes the wrong dependencies. This is more the way I think. I think sometimes there is like a big package populars, but it does so much things when we only need one tiny piece. And this package is okay. It's very cool. If you want to do a lot of things, it's a popular choice and you can just install it. But sometimes when you just only need to do one little things, and that little things can be a technical subject. It's not just like, even package or thing like this. This is like a real technical stuff. Maybe most of the time, someone already built a package that do it. And so you can just check and install it, and it will do the work for you. Both packages are okay, depending on of your need. But sometimes it's hard to know, because we don't, we have to take the habitudes to check our dependencies and maybe take one of the things I tell people is to take few more minutes. When they have a need, take few more minutes to look for dependencies. It's not just about, we go half an hour on the tool and we spend a lot of time. No, just spend few more seconds to look at npm, at maybe open, I know like tool like Snyk Advisor also jive sometime, alternative and things like this. This is more my opinion today. Dependencies are not a problem. We just need to be more careful about what we pick. I guess most of the maintainer on my package, I know them. For example, Matteo, I know that Fastify, the guy behind the Fastify framework and who is maintaining the framework. And most of the time when I use a package, I will just open it with my tool and we'll use it to check how who is behind these packages. If this is a cool packages, I want to know, because maybe the guy has built other cool packages. So I will go. Yes, this is what is cool. I will go on
help you
his
discover
GitHub
new ones, right?
Exactly. Because I said to myself, if he builds something cool here, maybe he has also built other cool. And sometimes we find things like with 10 stars, but the maintainer is super serious and the package is really cool technically. It solves a lot of cool things. So yes, that's also a lot of opportunities. This is what I tell people. I'm 100% on dependencies, and even if this is little dependencies, sometimes you have one little package and they say in the documentation, hey, we made the package because this reason, because this, and I think it's okay when I will not just copy paste the code and remove the context. I think this is not a great idea. And it can be dangerous sometimes, because sometimes people just copy paste the code without test, without anything else, and it can lead to maybe more dangerous situation, from my opinion.
Sometimes it could be potentially a bad thing to have too many dependencies outside of the scope of what you truly need, like pulling in more than you need. But other times it could be okay because you might benefit from it, is kind of what I'm hearing. To summarize for that, let's get back into demonstrating the Node Secure CLI here. So we have that visualization. You looked up Fastify to see what are the dependencies. Let's untangle the dependencies there, right, of that one.
Exactly. One of the things we could see that we have a lot of emojis.
What's that all about?
That's cool. This is in Node Secure. This is what we call flags. So each flag has a meaning. So myself, when I look at this at Fastify, I know the meaning of all those flags. So if we look at the right of the screen, we have a little button. When I click on it, it will open a wiki. For example, the little planet has external capacity. So this is when, for example, a package use dependencies like core dependencies like HTTP, net, HTTP. So typically they can execute request externally, and we have a lot of emoji like this. For example, no licenses, mini fiat code with a little I don't know what's the name of the emoji in English, but
a little telescope.
Exactly. And so we have a lot of emojis. Some are more dangerous than others. For example, script. When we have the little box, and sometimes you have combination. If I see some combination of emoji, for example, script with external capacity and warnings, I will tell myself, oh, I need to take a look at this because it seems suspicious. That's the meaning of those flags, is that just by looking at the tree, I could see like, I see a planet here. And I could see things just by looking at the tree. And so after this,
what are the colors? The colors of each like node? No pun intended there, but like, what are the colors of indicate to you as well?
Exactly. There is some red node. So red node are when we have warnings on it. For example, we have this little emoji warnings, and when we have these emojis, it will turn the things in red just to indicate, hey, there is some warning on this package. Maybe you want to take a look at it. So for example, here, if I click, it will open the menu on the left, and we could find a lot of information on the package Find My Way. This is the HTTP router of Fastify, I guess. And we can find, for example, here a list of emojis. So we can go with the mouse, and for example, we have the tree, and it say I have a tree because the package has indirect dependencies, so transitive dependencies. And we can, for example, there is a pair of eyes, and it say eyes is because there is probably missing dependency in the package. Sometimes it's not right. Sometimes the flag is not right. He failed to find some dependencies, but I've opened it.
I would call something like that. A dependency is missing in package.json or is installed but never used. How does that happen?
Just to say to you, because I've opened something like 20 pull requests on NPM, and sometimes it happens, people refactor the code, because NPM is quite old now, so the code is moving a lot. And recently, it's really true because they are moving a lot of things in Mono repository and things like this.
Oh, okay.
And when they refactor, they kind of sometimes forget some dependencies. So they're missing dependencies and forgotten dependencies in. Sometimes those are dev dependencies, not dependencies, but because they make mistake and refactor, they keep dependency, and sometimes they make big mistake like using a package that is not in the package.json, but in one of the sub modules. It happened one time with npm where I identified the dependencies and they made this mistake. And at some point it has break because in the sub dependencies they removed the package of the parent package show because the dependency were missing, and so you don't do this. It's a bad thing to use package that is not in the package.json. It will go bad one day. So it happens sometimes. This is just when you are maintaining such a big project, at some point with time you will probably miss one dependencies, or someone will take one dependencies, and because npm moves so much between each packages, like those kind of mistakes happen all the time. We have multiple menu we can switch. So for example, here I switch to files and I will get each extension used, and we can also check the list of files. When I click, I can open it also. It will open it on Unpkg if I want to look at the file. It's not perfect, but that's still cool.
It's helpful, though.
Yeah, we can switch on that third menu. This is script and dependency. So here we can also see each script and verify if there is no post-install script that do weird comments. If it execute weird things. For example, here it say, I think there is a missing dependency here. So maybe in case of Fastify, because in Fastify projects, they love to publish tests, and sometimes, so dev dependencies are not published yet. So it's happened a lot with Fastify because they publish their test. But when this is not the case, we find a lot. As I said, I've opened a lot of merge requests on open source project. We find, but sometimes it doesn't find the dependency just because people publish example or test, and this is quite hard to remove all false positive. And we have also the list of Node.js dependency that they use.
You really dive deep into it, huh? Like you analyze the code then at that point to know that it's depending on the built-in node dependencies?
Yeah, exactly. You can click also, it will open the Node.js documentation on it. And we have the list of dependencies that is used here. And we have also that little cool option. For example, here I can click hide, and in the graph it will hide all children. So you can, when you are working on a big tree, you can show and hide the child. So it's quite useful if you just want to look at some part of the tree. We have the fourth menu. This is warnings by static analyzer. This is the static analyzer reporting a lot of warning here. Is not very critical. This is just about unsafe regular expression. So on this, we have a lot of false positive. We use one of the package in the community. But in this, you have to get quite some experiences to get that. There's not much critical at that place, and there will not be a problem, or because this is false positive. So and we can also open the file, or for example, click here. It will will try to load the line of code. It's not really perfect. We want to improve this, but it's still cool. You can anyway open it, and we just want to improve this because the experience is not that great. You still have to find the line yourself in it. But we want to improve this. But right now this is like this. And if you want to learn more about each warning, you just can click here, it will still open
Oh, cool.
here, and you have all description. Like for example, we have like cool experimental warning, like obfuscated code. Or static analyzer is capable to follow a lot of, like obfuscator.io. If you obfuscate a code with it, it will be capable to detect it and throw warning. And yeah, we experiment a lot of things. We have a lot of warnings and an example and things like this. So you can learn more about them here. We have a menu here not available because it's about vulnerabilities, but we have no vulnerabilities on that particular package, so that menu is not available. We have that last menu, which is license conformance, and so yeah, we have information about each licenses in the project, which is I think it's a pretty cool feature. Also
sure.
to have it here. And yeah, that's it. And we can move, like for example, if I want to see, I want to check this package, I just can click and move on that package. And yeah, that's the cool part of the tool. Like you can just, I want to come back here, and or I want to look at Pinot, what he do. It's used by Fastify, so I can click and come back to Fastify, and you can move like this package to package and learn more about each project. Right.
Well, this is super cool. This is like really interesting, and being able to, again, like you pointed out, like it's one thing to know you have like a, you could see in the CLI sometimes when you npm install and you pull down a new project, npm install, and it's like, 1,000 packages were installed, whatever it is, right? And you like, sometimes you either notice that number or you don't, and you just move on. But like having this visualization of like, this is the spider web of dependencies that I have in my project is really like hit you home. So what are some of the use cases you've found people relying on a tool like this to help them with, right? So like if as a developer, you're building out a project, when would something like this Node Secure CLI come into play into that whole process or workflow when working on a project?
Yeah. I think there is multiple usage. For example, one of the things I know is that, for example, some maintainers and people who create projects like to use it because it's when you are building, like for example, a framework, it's get complicating at some point to get a good vision of what you are doing. But I guess this is the same for people who are maybe working professionally with a lot of internal packages and that use each of them use them, and so you can kind of get lost at some point that what is using what and things like this. So you need to visualize. So
really quick on that sub question, like for folks that maybe have private registries that they use instead of the public npm, can they use this tool for private?
Yes.
As well?
Yeah. It's totally supported, and it's in the documentation also. Yeah, you just need to config with, for example, npm, but even with API mode, you can use a private registry. It works with Verdaccio, for example, and things like this. So there is, at least at now, we have no issue with this. So yeah, it works with private registry too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so back to the original question. So you mentioned the use cases that you were going through for developers.
Yes, exactly. So yeah, I guess visualizing thing is one of those use cases. And when you are a developer on the project, it can be cool if you want to, as I said, you have an existing project, you want to dig into it, but maybe you have like 13 dependencies, so you need a tool to analyze and open, and it will open this view, and instantly you can just check, okay, we use this package, and this package is about this. And and maybe there is some issue with security, so you can check and say what we discussed, that you can take maybe a few minutes if you want to replace one of the dependencies. And you can even use other tools if you, maybe our tools is kind of basics, but after this you can use other tools that go far deeper than us, like I don't know, Snyk Advisor, for example. I like it, and they have cool metrics on it. I don't say this because I'm in a Snyk Live.
You genuinely like it? That's good to hear. I genuinely like it too.
Exactly, I really like Snyk Advisors, but so you can just use it to visualize things and learn more about your project, and maybe also find opportunity to contribute. So I think this is one of the main reasons, and maybe you can be using it also because it have a lot of features. Like you don't need, for example, with Node Secures, we have, if I go, we see that, for example, here we have the size with bundle phobia. So we have a lot of information like licenses, size. That one of the things that people sometimes like to get.
Yeah.
And what we try to do with our tool is to bring that information to the developer, so you don't have to use like 10 tools, like I said, like to check the size and the licenses and what things we kind of sometimes do time to time. So that's part of the usage, and we try to improve with security assessments to bring in new metrics and new cool stuff. So this can also be useful, to be sure there's nothing wrong with the packages they use. But I think one of the main force we have today is that ability to discover any packages and dig into it and find more about it. And that's one of the reasons we also want to go deeper into, bringing, for example, open source issues on each packages. Like, so people that want to do open source, they maybe can use it for this too. So we just try to not just focus on security, because sometimes maybe we need to get better with security. So we sometimes try to focus on accessibility and other things like that could be useful, not just security.
For me, lately, what I've been doing, because before I joined Snyk, I didn't know about Snyk Advisor. And I'm like, dang, I believe years ago, back early days when I was first starting my Node development, I had this responsibility where me and other folks on the team were trying to evaluate NPM packages that we kind of like want to, officially sign off on. Like, this is a good one for us that we think fits all the criteria that we set out for, that it checks all the boxes, basically. Like, if we were evaluating packages that we would use on our development projects for all the teams in our area. And I was like, dang, I wish we had Snyk Advisor then, because that would have made it so much easier. But in addition to that, because like what you're saying, Snyk Advisor is great that way, but I see the Node Secure CLI tool like supplement each other almost, in the sense
exactly.
Where maybe you look at you're evaluating a certain package and it's kind of checking all the boxes, but you kind of want to see how deeply intertwined it is into the overall ecosystem, right? And like maybe if it has too many dependencies, like maybe you're like neck and neck between two projects or two packages, and one has less dependencies than the other, and that might be something that is more appealing to you, and you can see that based on the visualization that you all provide through this tool. What are some other features that you kind of want to highlight here from the Node Secure CLI tool?
Yeah, I didn't go yet into it, but we have a home page here. So because I was analyzing Fastify, I just have a little home page, nothing crazy today, but there's still some cool metrics like the number of dependencies, the download and things like this. We also have the list of author/maintainers, because there's a lot of information that we have to filter in each packages. And we also have, like, for example, the list of extensions. That's something I really like having the number of extension. And sometimes we can see things quite funny, like, for example, we don't have it here, but at some point we had a PHP in one of our projects, and we were like, why do we have a PHP 5 in our packages? So that's, this is, you ask yourself some funny question. And I think Fastify is using, I don't know, maybe
is this in just Fastify, or is this like all of its...
No, all the packages. This is across
all the packages. It depends upon, these are all the different files that are involved to support the functionality of it.
If you want to find it, you can use the search bar on the top right, and you can go, like, for example, extension, and you say, hey, I want to find who is using .draw.io and it say, oh, this is Fastify. I guess they have quite a lot of files, but I think they have a lot of files. Yeah, but they have a draw.io file in it, and you ask yourself, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Why do they need this? So yeah, you can use the search bar to search anything you want. Like, for example, if I want to look for some building modules, like, hey, who is using async out? Also, Fastify, they are using async out in Fastify. But yeah, you can use also the search bar to look at some information, like the flags and like, yeah, bon, there's nothing with a script. That's it. Maybe I just want to show you quite fast, just a local. So this is one of my local projects. So this is a demo I've made for one of my talk. But
you called it Auto? It's the name of your project?
Yeah, Insecure. No, Auto is like, it's in the documentation. It's just Insecure Auto. It just open me the local project in the web UI.
Gotcha. Okay, so you go to your directory of your project and you just say Insecure Auto. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, but because basically, if we look at the command, we have two commands. We have current working there and from command, but they will not open the web interface. Basically, by default, they just analyze and generate a JSON file. And after this, if you want to open the web UI, you can, for example, type insecure open. And auto is just a command that combines both. For example, if I just tap auto, it will run CWID and run insecure open behind it. So it just it will just avoid you to run two commands, separate command. Gotcha, but yeah, everything is documented into the README. But yeah, if you want, you can just save some JSON file, share them with someone in your team, and he can take the JSON and open it in Not Secure. So
okay. So does it? I guess that leads me to my question. I think you kind of answered it there. Is Node Secure, when you run it, is it doing all that locally on the developer's machine that's running and using the tool, or is it like going out to an API saying, hey, this is the packages we found, give me back the results of everything? Yeah,
it do it locally, but we use npm API to do it. So to check out for all analysis we do. But yeah, everything is done locally. Actually, if you want to use it, let me show you very fast, because behind this, what we use is what we call scanners. And we can just, for example, run scanner from the name, and it will return the JSON to you. So you can exactly, if you want to build your own tool with it, or maybe build your own analysis with the data we fetch, you can just use that package scanners and build your own tool with it. It's so everything is documented here.
Can you search and analyze an npm package for me? So I've been experimenting, just rehashing and relearning how to build npm packages, like modern npm packages. So I want to see how mine looks, and it should be very boring and simple.
Okay.
Oh, it's the npm package is at Clark.io. Okay, let's see. How does it look? It should be pretty quick, right?
Yeah, there is no. Oh, it opened it on the wrong screen.
Yeah, there we go. Look at that. See? It's very simple.
Yeah, very simple. Yeah, so we see you here.
Nice.
Yeah, we can check and go look.
No, don't look at it. No.
You didn't see anything, right?
But yeah, we can check each files, and we see that we also have the size of it.
Yeah. It's very minimal. It's hello world.
No test yet. Yeah, exactly. But
no test yet, says every developer ever.
And yeah, we can look at it, but yeah, there's not much to see on it.
No, there's not much to see with any of my work ever. All right, well, with that, I think we'll start wrapping things up. We want to thank everybody that's watching it at home, wherever you are in the world, or at work. If you're watching at work, that's cool too. If folks want to get in touch with you, Thomas, your Twitter is twitter.com/ how do you pronounce it? Fraxkin?
Yeah. there are a lot of ways to pronounce, but yeah, people say Fraxcan.
Fraxcan? Okay.
Sometimes people say Schraken also, but
Oh yeah. Wait,
Pro-
is that like a French thing?
no. This is just because originally this is how I pronounce things. I said Schraken, but everyone say Fraxcan, so
Okay. All right, yeah.
yeah, because you do know this is a F, so people say Fraxcan. It's normal, but
Gotcha. All right. Well, there you go, folks. Go check them out on Twitter there. I'll drop the links in the description after the stream is over and in the recording. And thanks again, Thomas, for being here and giving us some insight on how we can untangle the secrets of our JavaScript dependencies.